thing that stresses out parent and player alike is tryouts. Absolutely freaks everyone out. They get stressed out, they get paranoid, they worry about whether they should go to other clubs as well. So, I want to just talk about a few simple things that can help you in the tryout specifically. Um, and look, keep in mind a lot of stuff. If you pay attention to the podcast episodes that are on the YouTube channel, or you listen to it on Spotify or Google Podcasts or whatever, a lot of that mental stuff that applies to everything: games, practices, tryouts, etc. But I just want to talk about some specific things that are going to help in tryouts themselves, a few little differences um, that I think can help you have a much better tryout and make it a lot less stressful for you. And number one is simply do not hide. Right, a lot of players tend to hide. Too many players, when it gets to the small sided games, the 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, 5v5, whatever it is, full on scrimmages at the end, like a lot of clubs do. A lot of players tend to hide, especially if they're playing with players that they don't know. And they might hang back more on defense. They don't want to get involved with the play because I guess they're nervous, and they figure, you know what, if they're not involved, if they don't have the ball at their feet, they're not making mistakes, right? They're not going to be seen as a player who's just not good enough. Yeah, maybe they don't get noticed, but they're not going to get noticed for something bad, right? So they don't get touches on the ball. They're not making mistakes. That's great, but you're not getting noticed either. You're not standing out when coaches get together and evaluate and say, okay, let's check out these players. Usually a lot of them, you're a number, not a name for, although a lot of coaches may know you depending on, how long you've been playing and things like that. But they're looking to, like, someone calls 99. Let's say you're 99, they're like, 99. A lot of coaches like, well, was 99 there? They don't even know if 99 was there. So how are they evaluating you, right? And so you need to catch the attention of the coach. And yeah, that requires a little bit of risk. That's just the way it is. And if you hang back, you aren't involved. Uh, and I don't mean don't defend no matter what position you play, but you need to be more involved with the game than just defending, because even if you do well defending, let's say you get involved because, hey, the ball's coming at you and you do well defending. A lot of coaches, to be uh, quite blunt with you, in the youth game, aren't selecting a player based solely on defense. They figure they can figure that out, because a lot of it, especially early on, is about just being aggressive, being in the right place, pressuring the ball, effort, and that sort of thing. They want players who can do something offensively. And speaking of defending, by the way, the second you lose the ball, let's be clear, this is one thing that stands out too. The second you lose the ball, you need to put pressure on the player with the ball to win it back right away. Effort, 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 100%. Because I do not want a talented kid who's lazy, or even worse, a talented kid who quits when things get tough, right? The kid who throws their arms up in the air, and you can see the frustration in the body language when they lose the ball, or when they think they're open and a teammate hits a bad pass that gets intercepted or something like that. So you got to do all the little things, right? All the little things when it's, more players, bigger side of games, movement off the ball, the talking and the communication, which also stands out a lot at the younger ages, going hard after those 50-50 balls, all of those types of things, tracking back aggressively. But if you want to really stand out, you must challenge defenders off the dribble. It doesn't mean, a lot of people take this as, oh, you just dribble through the entire team. No, it doesn't mean try and dribble through an entire team, but it's attacking players who get noticed, players who hang back and sort of hide. Maybe they only defend. They don't get involved. They don't get noticed. Um, and look, most tryouts, we know they involve some 1v1, some 2v2, maybe some 3v3. So you got to be aggressive in those situations. You should be on the ball a lot, be aggressive, try moves, try and fake out defenders. It's okay, believe it or not, if you make a mistake. I would rather see a player attempt the scissor in beating a defender that doesn't work out than the typical player at young ages who goes at a defender and then they push the ball past them, kind of that self passing, and then hopefully they hope they can use their speed to just then beat the defender to the ball that they basically didn't really dribble but kicked into space, right? I'd rather see the player who's actually trying something to beat a defender, even if they mess up. And good coaches, this is key, because I get there's a little bit of risk. Parents and players probably, but that's not going to look good, and coaches won't like that. Good coaches will. Good coaches will understand what they are seeing, even if a player loses the ball. So then you kind of have to balance that. Do you want to play for a coach who's going to look at something like that with a younger player and think of that in a negative fashion? Is that really the type of coach that you trust to develop you as a player? So understand something really important: play to the best of your ability. Very few coaches, this is true. So like it's a crapshoot in a way. I'm giving you the tips that help you swing things in your favor the most that we can, but very few coaches know how to spot potential. Okay, so even if you don't make the team you want, it could very well have nothing to do with your ability. In fact, part of it could be if you're trying out for a new team, they might already have that team picked and they might be looking for one or two players in case a couple of their players don't come back. Like there are a lot of other factors that are involved in you not getting selected for a team that have nothing to do with you as a player. I think that's important to understand too, because when you realize that and you embrace that, it takes a lot of the stress off of you, because you know that you can go out, you can do your thing, you can do it to the best of your ability, you can play well, you can stand out, you could be someone that really should make the team, and you don't, simply for other reasons that have nothing to do with you. Okay, so control what you can control. Go out, play hard, take chances, get noticed. What happens after that is out of your control. Therefore, just let it go. Don't worry about it. It has nothing to do with you. Go have fun, play hard, get involved, get the ball at your feet. What happens after that? It happens. You'll find a team, you'll find other opportunities as long as you keep playing. Don't make tryouts be the be all end all in terms of letting it decide how you feel about the game, letting it be the judge of your talent. It's not. Okay. It certainly is not. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. If you have questions, let me know in the comments. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you in the next video.